Most people think heartbreak hurts because they lost someone, and that's partly true. But psychologists have discovered something strange about the way humans experience loss. The thing you're grieving often isn't the person alone. It's a future that never happened, a future your mind quietly built in the background. And when that future disappears, your brain reacts as if something real has been taken away, even though it only existed in your imagination. The moment we become emotionally attached to someone, our brains start doing something automatically. They begin predicting the future, not consciously, subconsciously. A dinner becomes future holidays. A few good conversations become years together. A first date becomes an entire story. Without realizing it, we start filling in the blanks. We imagine where things are going, what life might look like, who will become together. And little by little, those possibilities begin to feel real. This happens because your brain is a prediction machine. Its job isn't just to understand the present. Its job is to prepare for what's next. Every day, your mind creates mental simulations of the future. Most of the time, you don't notice it. But when emotions are involved, those simulations become much stronger. The more invested you become, the more detailed the future becomes. And the more detailed it becomes, the more your brain starts treating it like reality, even when none of it has happened yet. Think about it. When people fall in love, they rarely imagine only the next week. They imagine months, years, entire chapters of life, future birthdays, future conversations, future memories. Sometimes people become attached not only to who someone is, but to who they believe that person will be. And that's where things become complicated, because we don't just fall in love with people. We often fall in love with possibilities. Then the relationship ends, and something unexpected happens. The person leaves. But the future doesn't disappear immediately. The plans remain, the possibilities remain, the mental picture remains. Your brain keeps reaching for a future that no longer exists, which is why heartbreak can feel so disorienting. Part of you understands it's over, but another part is still expecting the story to continue. This is why heartbreak feels so confusing. You're losing two things at once, the person and the future your mind already accepted as real. One loss is visible, the other is invisible. One exists in the outside world. The other exists entirely inside your head. Yet both losses create genuine pain because your brain doesn't measure grief based on whether something was physical. It measures grief based on emotional significance. Researchers sometimes describe this as grieving an anticipated future. You're mourning experiences that never happened, memories that don't exist, moments your brain expected to arrive. And surprisingly, studies suggest that imagined futures can become deeply embedded in our emotional lives. The brain invests energy into them, plans around them, organizes expectations around them. So when they're suddenly removed, the loss feels real, because emotionally, it was real. This also explains why people often get stuck after a breakup. They replay conversations, reread messages, revisit memories, not because they're trying to recover the past, but because they're trying to recover the future they attached to that past. They're searching for the life they thought was coming, the version of reality they had already started preparing for. And that's much harder to let go of, because you can't physically see what you're missing. You can only feel its absence. At some point, healing requires a difficult realization. The future you imagined was never guaranteed. It was only one possibility among many. But when we're heartbroken, we often treat that possibility as if it was destiny. We convince ourselves that it was the only path forward, the only version of happiness available, the only story worth telling. And that's rarely true. The mind narrows its focus during grief. It forgets how many possibilities still exist. The turning point comes when you realize something important. The same brain that created that future can create another one. The same imagination that built that story can build a different story. The same ability that allowed you to dream about life with one person can eventually help you dream again. Not immediately, not overnight, but gradually. The blank page isn't the end. It's the beginning of something unwritten. Healing doesn't happen when you erase every memory, and it doesn't happen when you pretend the relationship never mattered. Healing happens when your mind stops living inside the future that disappeared and starts investing in a future that's still possible, a future that belongs to you, one that isn't limited to a single outcome, one that can still surprise you, one that can still become meaningful in ways you can't predict yet. Maybe that's the hardest part about heartbreak nobody talks about. You're not just saying goodbye to a person, you're saying goodbye to a future version of yourself. The version that existed in your imagination. The version that expected a certain story. The version that thought it knew what came next. But once you understand that, everything changes. Because the future you lost was never the only future available to you. It was simply the one you could see at the time. And sometimes healing begins the moment you realize there are still countless pages left unwritten. Subscribe for more psychology and relationship insights.